Tell me what you want, what you need. Tell me what you wanna give. How much blood would you bleed? I'ma tell you I'm a misconceiver. I'm a believer. Someone better kick my fever. Tell me it's 100 degrees underneath my whole flesh. Everyone tells me it's a bit of a mess. I'ma tell the risk I was never at the end. I would never get it off my chest. Oh, I'm forgetful. Someone better tell me I was always on the edge. Overstay your bearings, I would never underestimate. Oh, barely, my bets are off. Everything was better off. Oh, barely, my bets are off. Everything was better off. Take your eyes off me, don't want to see me when I'm gone. Moral of the story was you're wrong. Everything I gave and everything I lost. Good things come at a cost. I left it on your head, and when you ever overstated, your thoughts are never everything you wanted when you want. I'ma take it in the head with the signs of the distort. I'ma leave it on the side, you on the Christ when I pray on this set. Let me speak on behalf of the dead. I'ma leave, I'ma speak, I'm the sick in the head. Come on, come on. Oh, barely, my bets are off. Everything was better off. Oh, barely, my bets are off. Everything was better off. Tell the risk I was never at the end. I would never get it off my chest. Oh, I'm forgetful. Someone better tell me I was always on the edge. Overstay your bearings, I would never underestimate.
Coach, we're just a stone's throw from the Delaware River. We've got some water to contend with ourselves. A steady rain falling at Lincoln Financial Field. The scene a few moments ago, here it is. It's unlike any other in sport as both teams made their way out of the tunnel. These folks are fired up as their guys are ready to do battle between the Green Bay Packers and the Philadelphia Eagles.
Let's go, defense. Let's go, defense. All right, here we go. Get 300. Get 300.
Rodgers now on first down. Gets this to his running back, Aaron Jones. He'll be dropped after a gain of about 6 across the 30 to the 31.
I like it, I like it, I like it. Get everyone involved in the passing game, and you know you can create those great mismatches throwing it to your guys out of the backfield.
And on the first drive, that can also help establish some rhythm, right?
I think so, and gets everyone involved. They feel like they're part of it and really gets them amped up as they go forward.
Looking to throw again on second down. Rodgers, room here to run. And he'll score. Touchdown, Eagles. And now we've got a stoppage and a timeout here called by the defense. It's their first of this first half as they look to regroup and hopefully stop the two-point conversion coming up. Footing always a concern, but the extra point's up and good. And that makes the score 7-0. So they throw the pick six. They'll get another shot at it now as this one's in the air. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. The Packer offense ready to get their next drive underway. And, you know, certainly a lot of football left to be played. We're not into December yet, but right now where we stand, they're first place in their division. Looking good, looking to be a threat come January.
And let's think about what every team has in their goals, all right? Number one goal is what? Make the playoffs. Number two goal is win your division. Number three goal, and the biggest goal, I think, is to be the highest seed possible that you can be heading into the playoffs so that you can have as many home games as possible to try and get you to the Super Bowl.
And right now fighting for every win possible to try to at least secure home field for the wild card and or divisional round. From the gun on third down, Rodgers. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Derek Barnett in there to get him, and that is sack number 6 now for him on the year. You never want to give up a sack. From the O-line's perspective, they hate it for several reasons, especially because they felt like they let little brother down back there in the pocket.
Oh, no doubt. They have a ton of pride, and they go into every job wanting to keep that guy clean. They want that uniform with no grass stains, no dirt, nothing on it, but it's really, really difficult. You're talking about some terrific athletes who are trying to put him on the ground.
So from the 36 now, 1st and 10.
Double time, 3 down.
Here's carry number 1 for Jordan Howard. And he's got a first down and then some at midfield. And he's got daylight. It's a foot race. Touchdown, Philadelphia. Jordan Howard with touchdown number 7 on the year. And the Eagles are able to strike quickly for 6. Extra point right down the middle. And that'll make the score 14-0. The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away.
Good work, boys. Let's go. Let's go.
35-yard line.
The Packer offense ready to get their next drive underway. Already down 2 touchdowns here in the first half. This becomes a pretty important drive, doesn't it?
It certainly does, and a lot of the teams script plays. We know that, right? They have a script to start the ball game, and typically those scripts go between 12 and 24, 25 plays. Down 2 touchdowns early, probably not very deep into their script. I think that they'll stay with it. I don't think they'll abandon it just yet and try and generate some offense on this drive.
Anything. At least 3 points, get that 0 off the board. So now then, the big play has them all the way inside the 30 now, 1st and 10. Rodgers with a give. It's Aaron Jones. And taking it to the 15-yard line before he's brought down. 13 yards, 1st down, Packers.
I have to admit, I'm excited by that play call and the end result, because this is a team that's down big early in the first quarter, and a lot of teams will just panic, abandon the playbook, and just start firing the ball all over the place. It's way too early for that. Stick to what works for you.
Down double digits, and we talked about their game plan being both running and passing there. You're right. They're sticking to the game plan, getting the ground game going.
A lot of football left to be played.
Get 300. Get 300. Hey, Alpha.
Into the red zone. It's Rodgers. Got a man open. It's Adams. Touchdown, Green Bay. Davante Adams. His 6th touchdown of the season as his guys are on the board here in this first quarter. Extra point good by Catanzaro, and that'll make our score 14-7. Now Catanzaro after the touchdown to kick it away. This one fielded at the 5. And his guys will get the football right at the 20-yard line. The Eagles offense set to begin their next drive. And coming off a one-play drive that was so deflating for the defense, what's their mentality? How do they rally here and stop this offense?
Well, hopefully there's some determination that sets in, because they weren't ready to go on the last one. Give all the credit to the offensive guys for getting it done, but to allow a run of that length, that's just not being prepared. So now, are they determined? Are they ready to read their keys and make the proper plays?
And we'll see how determined they are. To throw again on 2nd down. Wentz, open man, Arcega-Whiteside. And he'll be brought down right at the 30 here.
Go! Let's go!
So 1st and 10 now from the 30.
Sunday.
Working from the gun. Wentz. Gonna look deep for Jeffrey. And that's caught inside the 35. Wentz finding his favorite receiver, Jeffrey, on a big one. 41 yards.
Well, we spent a lot of time exalting the offensive masterminds in this game, right? They draw up these beautiful plays. They look so perfect up on the board. But occasionally, sometimes you just say, throw it up and let him go get it. How about that play?
And that'll hurt the average a bit, as this time they're able to get him behind the line. Different story this time around. We had that huge gain followed by a sizable loss here.
Here we go.
Go. 280.
Watch the run. Watch the run. Watch the run.
This is Howard on second down. And he'll be brought down at the 21, just shy of the 20 in the red zone. A good pickup there, 13 yards as they get closer for third down.
Brings up third and a yard.
Here we go. 180. Sunday.
Man out. Hey, no, look, we got Mike 50. Mike 50, huh?
Hey, orbit.
He's coming. Double up. He's coming. Double up.
They'll try to run for it with Howard. And he's going to lose yards. They take him down at the 26. A 5-yard loss there is going to bring up fourth down.
A quick observation, Brandon, because early on in this game, I'm seeing linebackers playing with their noses close to the line of scrimmage.
And my guess is the wheels are turning on that other sideline. As a play caller, you're filing that away right now, aren't you?
Yeah, you're trying to find that opportunity later on when you can play action them or stick something to them between the second and the third level. I tell you, it's not easy kicking field goals in the best of conditions. Yet in a downpour like we're in right now, it makes it that much harder. And sure enough, they can't convert here.
They'll start out on the ground with Jones. Not much there, maybe a couple up to the 35.
You got it.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
Check 52 at the mic.
From the 35 on second down, Rodgers, and it's incomplete.
Didn't have a receiver open downfield, and as it turned out, couldn't even find his outlet man because of the coverage. It's way too tight, unable to find anyone open.
So the failure to connect on second down, that leaves them staring up here at a 3rd and 8. From the gun, it's Rodgers. And he fires one that's intercepted. Picked off by Ronald Darby. There he goes right side. And he takes this one back into the end zone. And the Eagles defense gets a pick-6 TD. So now 2 pick-6s that he's thrown in this first half of play. Where do you go from here?
But number one, make sure you keep your poise. Make sure you go to the sideline after throwing this second one, and you look like you're still in charge, that you're still the guy, because your team's going to feed off of you. And if you have your hands on your head or shaking your head, walking with your head down, guess what? They're not going to rally at all.
And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. The Packer offense ready to get their next drive underway. Now Rodgers to try again after the pick-6. Jones has it. And he'll be upended at the 28-yard line. Just a 3-yard gain there. Boy, the evolution of the game and how these guys in plays like that can get out of the pocket, keep plays alive, it just makes things so much harder for defenses.
It really does, and we're talking about an era in the game where the quarterbacks are the most athletically gifted that we've seen in a bunch. I mean, when you talk about collectively, it's unbelievable. So their ability to move is practiced now. It's not necessarily, oh, he just took off and you guys figure it out. When he takes off, everyone knows where to go now. They know how to run routes, change things, make themselves presentable for the quarterback. It's a lot of time that they put in.
Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Fletcher Cox in there to get him, and that is sack number 6 now for him on the year.
Well, someone's been up to the task so far in this game. They are already up a couple of scores, Brandon, and guess what? I think they're just going to pin their ears back now and get upfield and get after the quarterback.
Been such an impressive first half to get that lead.
Let's go. Let's go. Let's go.
At their own 17-yard line.
Already at the line, this Philly offense set to go. And thus far, the weather has not slowed this offense down one bit. They've looked good so far in the first half.
They certainly have. And think back to our meeting with the head coach. And we asked him because we saw the forecast for this game, didn't we? We said, hey, have you prepared for this? And he talked about the different drills that they've done in adverse conditions, the wet ball drills, things of that nature. He said, I don't think it's going to slow us down much. We tend to handle it pretty well, and he's been right.
On 2nd and 9, Wentz. Now the pressure comes and he goes down. Just inside the 10, back at the 9. They could not contain Kenny Clark as he gets home for the sack. After the sack, they'll come up now 3rd and long.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised to see them run the ball here just to try and get some space.
And instead, they want to throw it off play action. And that'll be incomplete. Well, they took their shot all right, but it comes up empty, and it's 4th down. You can tell they were hoping for a flag there offensively. Several on the sideline motioning, hey, why not a penalty? Why not a penalty? What did you see?
Yeah, I think you've got to let them play, and the officials are instructed. If there's contact coming from both sides, no flag. Let them fight it out.
And forces 4th down.
At the Eagles' 48-yard line.
319.
Check 53, Mike. All day, every day. Let's go.
Now a first down carry by Jones. And he gets this inside the 35-yard line. Give him 15 there, and the Packers have a first.
Exactly what they needed right there, because they needed to use the ground game to take some pressure off, because the quarterback's been struggling a little bit.
So they'll come up 1st and 10 now from the 33.
Over. Blue jaw quarter. Inside.
Shotgun now for Rodgers. And that's complete to Adams. And they'll get him down after a pickup of 8, 2nd and 2.
Nothing fancy on first down, but a very consistent type of a play. Hit that slant. A lot of people call it an extension of the running game, and it can be if that pass is completed, because you hit a guy on the run like that, he often can go for big yardage.
Sets him up nicely for 2nd down, staying ahead of schedule. And he'll take it down here just shy of the 15 at the 16-yard line. That one, a first down pickup of 8.
I think they like this drive a little bit better there, partner. Running game helping out, picking up some of the slack. Because remember the last drive, they went 3 and out.
Inside the red zone here, they'll look to throw. It's caught by Aguilar. And he will lose yardage here back at the 23-yard line. That's going to go as a loss of 7, and it'll set him back for 2nd down. So they had the big loss on that first down pass play and facing a 2nd and long. Throwing is Rodgers. And his throw here is incomplete.
Well, we've seen him catch a few passes out of the backfield in the first half, unable to connect on that one.
Certainly seems like getting him the ball out of the passing game, though, is part of their game plan.
It certainly is, because he catches it well, creates a mismatch. You're going to cover him with a linebacker, a corner, a safety. They feel like he can win every battle.
The Packers on 3rd down, 0 for 3 to this point. They could use a conversion. This is 3rd and 17. Shotgun now for Rodgers. And he's going to be taken down here. A sack back at the 32. Fletcher Cox, he's the one to get him, and that is sack number 7 for him on the year. And this one is no good. He missed it. But hold everything. Did they rough the kicker here? Looked like they might have. Let's see. Now Chandler Catanzaro for the field goal here. This from 44 yards away. Catanzaro's kick is good. And high fives for that one as that drive ends in 3. So that's a 7-play drive that ultimately stalls out there at the end.
Yeah, things were a little leaky in the beginning on that drive, weren't they? But how about the front 7? As they got closer to the goal line, things stiffened a little bit, forced the field goal.
The Eagles offense set to begin their next drive. And on the last go-around, they really couldn't get anything going.
They had to punt from deep inside their own territory, which means you're going to lose the field position battle as a general rule. What they're looking for now is a little more consistency, move the ball at least a few times on offense, get a couple of first downs, and hopefully flip the field.
Yeah, just something to build off of. That's what they're looking for here. The run on first down gets them a couple up to the 27. 2 yards on the pickup there. It'll be 2nd and 8.
Well, they had that one sniffed out. Excellent run blitz. Stopped that one for a short gain.
What makes a good run blitz a good run blitz?
The ability to stay on task, to follow up your assignment, go to the gap you're supposed to cover, and not be deterred by anything else.
They'll break the huddle, come up on 2nd and 8 at the 27-yard line. Here's Wentz to throw. That's caught by Howard. No gain there, and it's going to bring up a 3rd down.
That was impressive to me because while it was a pass play, they still rallied to the football like they were filling running lanes, and they were able to put the receiver on the ground.
Two minutes remaining in this first half of football. We'll remind you that coming up at halftime, we'll join Jonathan Coachman and the gang in Orlando. Coach will have stats and scores from the early games going on here around the NFL.
Mine's 50, mine's 50. I'm trying.
Hey, echo.
Now Wentz on 3rd down. And a big loss here as he's taken down. Zadarius Smith drops him for a loss of 14 yards, and it also brings up 4th down. This is away, but boy, headed straight for the sidelines. The first look at the NFL scoreboard comes from the Motor City. It's the Lions that have grabbed the early lead. That one tight to this point, and you'd have to imagine it'll stay tight throughout. Line of scrimmage, the 37 on 1st and 10.
Hey, exit.
Working from the gun, Rodgers. Complete to his tight end, Seth DeValve. Give him 9 there on the first down completion. That last catch short of the marker by just a yard leaves him with a very manageable 2nd and 1. Throwing now is Rodgers. And Rodgers is going to go down. He's sacked. Now the Packers going to go ahead and use the 2nd of their timeouts as they'll stop it with 40 seconds remaining in this first half. Rodgers now, after the sack, he'll lead the pack up on 3rd and long.
Here we go. 50. Hey, you block over here. Go.
Here's Rodgers operating from the gun. And this is caught. For the moment, it's a touchdown, but multiple flags down, so let's sort this out. Catanzaro now for the extra point. And he's got it to make this a 21-17 game. Now Catanzaro after the touchdown to kick it away. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. Already at the line, this Philly offense set to go. You're under a minute to go here in the half. Field position not really in your favor, but still time to try and move the ball and get in field goal range.
Yeah, you've got the lead. It's definitely a thought. Let's go ahead and try and increase it. But at the same time, I don't like the odds. I don't like where they are on the field. Got the lead. They've done well in the first half. Don't mess it up and go into halftime looking at each other wondering what if.
Now 2nd and 10 at the 25-yard line.
An incomplete pass leads to 2nd and 10 from the 25. Not wanting to take a chance this time, they'll keep it on the ground. And he's going to get a good gain of 9 here up to the 34.
Despite the blitz, they're still able to pick up a nice solid gain. The disadvantage of blitzing often alters the normal spacing and run fits and leaves creases like they were able to exploit right there.
Now Wentz. He's going to float this one deep right side. And that's going to wind up incomplete. However, we do have a flag down. Let's check in with our referee. Well, he's got to have that wrong, doesn't he? They declined that.
There's no doubt about it. Sorry to step on you there, partner, but let's go ahead and run this one together, right? Incomplete pass, yet they call pass interference, and somehow you're going to decline that penalty?
I'm so confused. Forecast calling for more of the same. The rain set to continue as we are underway in the second half.
Let's go. Let's do it.
The Eagles offense set to begin their next drive. They have the lead now. They'll be looking for some separation here as we begin the third quarter.
I like the way you term that because now I think they go a little bit deeper into their playbook. They like what they did in the first half. That worked okay. But in order to get the separation that you just talked about, change things up a little bit. Change your tendencies. Try and hit them a little bit more with some things they didn't see in the first half.
Let's see if they do just that. Line of scrimmage, the 37 on 1st and 10. Running with Howard. He's got the first down and more past midfield. 30, 10, for touchdown, Philadelphia. Jordan Howard, his second touchdown of the afternoon. And the Eagles able to push further out in front. That's a pretty quick response to that last touchdown drive. And it seemed like they may be giving up momentum. Not so fast.
No, not at all, because they ended up pushing the lead up once again, and you're exactly right. Thought momentum might have been shifting. Instead, they grabbed old Mo, didn't let him get to the opposite sideline.
Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. This one taken from the 7. And he's up across the 25 and down at the 28-yard line. The Packer offense ready to get their next drive underway. And their halftime hole now even deeper, and they need a big drive here just to answer the first touchdown of the second half scored against them.
They were down at the half. Now, as you mentioned, they're down a little bit bigger, but no time for discouragement. Just got to get back to it, right? Put your shoulder against the boulder and start pushing and try and get back to where you were to start the half.
So 2nd and 8 here after the pass play for 2 yards on first down.
Hey, Foxtrot, Foxtrot.
Rodgers now to throw. And on the left sideline, he caught it, but out of bounds, according to the head linesman. Incomplete, so the ball a little late getting there, and it's 3rd down.
I know for us it's fun, and it's not so much fun for the rookie receivers when we see them coming into the league, and we're going to training camps. You see them working on getting 2 feet down instead of 1. But the best ones train in college trying to get 2 down instead of 1, so the transition's a little bit less. In this case, though, wasn't able to complete it anyway. I know that interception was dropped, and it would have been their 3rd of the game, and I will guarantee you, in the huddle, on the bench, all the defensive guys have been talking about is, we've got this guy right where we want him. Who's going to get the next one? It almost becomes a challenge, and they missed a golden opportunity.
ready at the line. This Philly offense set to go. And they're hoping to redo their efforts in the last drive when they got into the end zone.
And just think of what it's like now on the sideline, because when you score a touchdown, you have to go over and look at the tablet and see what you did on the last drive. When you scored points, it's a whole lot better view than when you're trying to figure out how to fix things there.
7 yards, the pickup on the pitch and catch.
You can see the time and effort and thought that they put into their passing game because it was evident right there. It looks like a simple pitch and catch, but you and I both know that they have planned for this and worked hard to make it happen.
Hey, Charlie.
On second down, it's Howard. They're going to snuff this play out behind the line. We have not seen that much today. The second down play results in a loss of 2 yards. And it looks like we've got a dime set here defensively. 6 DBs in the game.
5-9, 5-9.
Throwing now is Wentz. That's caught by the big tight end, Dallas Goedert. And he's taken down, but not before he gets this across the 25-yard line. 10 yards there and an Eagle first down.
First and 10 at the 27-yard line.
Go. 120.
Bring it.
On first down, they run with Howard. And maybe a measure of revenge there. He's had his way in this one, but this time they get him behind the line. Call that a loss of 5 yards on the play. And it'll be a second and long.
Here we go. Blue 80.
Again, it's Howard. He'll get 2 yards back, but it's going to leave him with a long 3rd and 13.
So where'd all that running room that he had in the first half go? Because it looks like it's drying up a little bit here. Someone made some adjustments, it appears, at least on this drive.
Here we go. 180.
It's been a long day for you.
4-5-7.
Mike 42.
I don't even know why this team showed up.
Mike 42.
On 3rd and long, it's Wentz. And that'll wind up incomplete. Bold play call there. Now it's 4th down.
You hear the calls for a penalty, but I just don't think so. I think in this situation, the defender was making sure his guy couldn't hold on to the football. So I don't see anything that warranted a flag.
No, I'm with you. There was contact, but I'm happy they kept that flag in the back pocket. On is the punt team now as this one's sent away.
The Packers take over first and 10 at their own 30-yard line.
The Packer offense ready to get their next drive underway. And they're coming off a 3-and-out, my friend.
I think they've got to look at that play sheet and go to a spot that they haven't gone before. Time to shake things up a little bit to try and get this offense moving.
Okay, so how do you do that? How do you shake things up?
You look at what you've called before, realize it hasn't worked
Go to
so
someone
well,
else.
and maybe you try and find one of those special plays from one of your better players, and maybe try and hit something big and get things going in the excitement area.
It's a gain of 12, and the Packers have the first. Elsewhere at Arrowhead, they're in the 3rd quarter. The Chiefs continue to add on. They're really rolling. We'll keep you updated on that one as it progresses.
26. Hey, wahoo!
On 1st and 10, here's Rodgers. Got an open man. It's Valdez-Scantling. And they'll get him down as he's inside the 40. 19 yards there on the catch and run.
It's a nice completion, a little bit of run after catch as well to create the yardage that they got. But it is so tough to cover that route, the drag route, because they run it at varying speeds. Because the key is to create hesitancy on the defender's part.
Always so empathetic for those DBs, aren't you? They'll run it with Jones. And just no chance of turning the corner. He can only get back to the line of scrimmage. 2nd and 10 coming up.
Brings up 2nd and 10 at the 40-yard line.
Officially nothing on that last run. They'll try again 2nd and 10.
Set the tone, defense. Let's go.
Now Rodgers from the gun. He'll throw. And Rodgers intercepted a 3rd time. Picked off by Avonte Maddox. And he's free going down the left side. It's a foot race. And he'll score. Touchdown, Eagles. No going for two. They'll kick the point after. And he's been a busy man, 5 for 5 now as he knocks another one through to extend the lead. So they'll get another shot on offense following that pick six. And now the kick is away. This one taken just inside the 10. And he'll take this across the 25, a couple extra yards up to the 27-yard line. The Packer offense ready to get their next drive underway. And following the pick six, and they have decent field position in throwing that pick six. We'll see how they attack it. And Rodgers is going to go down. He's sacked. Derek Barnett, he's the one to get him, and that is sack number 7 for him on the year.
It's second down.
That huge loss on the sack makes this job much more difficult. It's now second down and 22 yards to go. Rodgers going to throw. And the pressure gets to him again. Fletcher Cox in there to get him. And on the season now, that is 9 sacks for him. Rodgers now, after the sack, he'll lead the pack up on 3rd and long. From the gun, Rodgers. Looks to throw, fires right side. And that's going to be incomplete. The coverage too good there. The contact popped the ball free, and it's 4th down. Here's J.K. Scott now as the drive goes backwards, so he's on to punt it away. With it is Jackson. They have, by the way, gone to the 3rd quarter now at Ford Field in Detroit. Now, you saw the score at the bottom of your screen a moment ago. We got a good one going on there. And we'll keep an eye on that one as our game goes along here. They'll begin the drive with Howard. And maybe a measure of revenge there. He's had his way in this one, but this time they get him behind the line. It'll be a loss of 1, and that'll bring up a 2nd and 11.
At the 35-yard line.
And they're not going to get to the line to run another play. So we will switch ends as the 3rd quarter has come to a close. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. After the loss to start out, here's 2nd and 11. Wentz now to throw. And he finds his tight end. It's Ertz. And that play is blown up, losing yardage back at the 35.
Well, I know it goes against the instincts of the person catching the ball because all you're ever taught is catch the football, don't drop it.
But drop it there.
Yeah, in that situation, dropping it would have been better. End up losing yardage, even though they completed the pass.
As good as a sack.
Yeah, how about that? Although they won't get the same credit for it, and it won't help them at contract time.
The Eagles on 3rd down. They've had their troubles, just 1 for 6. This is 3rd down and 12.
Choose it.
Hey, 50. 50's the mic. 50's the mic. Let's go one more.
Out of the gun, this is Howard. And he'll be taken down well before the 1st at about the 36-yard line. Give him a couple on the run as it brings up the 4th down.
That didn't appear to be a run blitz. He just darted in once he saw the run develop. That appeared to be a case of see ball, get ball.
And he gets this away, angled for the sideline with a lot behind it. Wow.
The Packers take over 1st and 10 at their own 18-yard line.
The The Packer offense ready to get their next drive underway. These guys had to punt their last possession, and that's become too familiar of a refrain. Too many of these drives just wound up going nowhere.
Well, you know how in baseball, when the pitcher gets a base hit and he's on base, they bring his jacket out to him to keep him warm? A lot of times the punter goes to the sideline, puts on sweatpants or a wrap over his leg to keep it warm. He might need a massage from the trainer right now.
Pressure comes, and down he goes. The Eagles get there for the sack.
We've been around this league for a while, and many coaches never pull their starting quarterback, almost no matter the situation. In this case, though, I think he's got to make a decision. He's taking a pretty good beating out there.
Yeah, with the deficit, maybe not wanting to risk an injury. Now a third down throw, but it misses the target, incomplete. Just nothing there again. He's been sacked multiple times. We've seen the interceptions, of course. He's really been through the ringer, hasn't he?
And what we've seen is a defense that's well coordinated. The front and the back really in sync. The front putting on the pressure, the backside being ball hawks and picking passes off.
To throw, it's Rodgers. Looking deep for Adams. And they will not be able to hook up there. It's incomplete. The Packers unable to pick up the first. And now possession will go over inside the 15-yard line.
Here we go. 120.
On first down, it's Howard. And he stopped after only a yard, taking it down to the 14.
Well, if the coaching staff's doing a good job upstairs, they'll file away what they just saw from the defense right there. They sold out to stop that running play. I'd say keep that in mind. They want to try that again. Go play action, hit them over the top.
The run only got a yard. Here's 2nd and 9. They go with Howard again. And effective running here. He'll take it down inside the 10. A 6-yard pickup on the ground that time, and that'll make it 3rd and 4 coming up.
And there we saw one of the downsides of blitzing during a rundown, because sometimes you get out of your gaps. You don't fit the run quite as well because you're headed towards the ball carrier with abandon.
On 3rd down, this is Howard. And this effort won't be enough as they rally up to stop him a couple of yards short. He needed 3. He got 2. Now that'll set up an interesting situation here on 4th and a yard.
Brings up 4th and 1.
And his kick here is good. And that will stretch the lead up to 3 touchdowns now. It's a 21-point game. So it's 3 more points, and that widens this thing out even further here in the 4th.
And you know, in this league, you can never have enough points, but this widens it out, as you said, and now it's all about ball control, isn't it?
And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. The Packer offense ready to get their next drive underway. And on that last drive, went for it on 4th, turned it over. A good job by their defense, though. They held them to 3, but this offense, they've got to be a little bit better, a little bit more careful here.
And sometimes when you see these calls on 4th down, when they decide to go for it, it's not necessarily the coach saying, I believe in my offense. Sometimes the coach saying, I believe in my defense.
Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Fletcher Cox has now recorded 10 sacks on the season.
The amount of sacks that they've absorbed in this game is absolutely extraordinary. Let's just face it. This offensive line, flat out, cannot handle this pass rush. It's been demonstrated time and time again.
Just 2 minutes remaining here in the 4th quarter of what has been a one-sided affair. So it's Packer football here as we welcome you back. And let's see what they've come up with offensively after having time to talk it over. Throwing on 2nd and long. Rodgers, Derek Barnett make that now 8 sacks for him on the season.
I remember throughout my career here in defensive coaches always say, guys, you got to earn the right to rush the passer. Well, they put themselves in a great spot with this big lead, and they know they've got to throw the ball.
These pass rushers have to be salivating. It is pin your ears back time indeed. Oh, the pressure too great, and he goes down once more. Fletcher Cox in there to drop him for his 11th sack of the year.
Brandon, what I remember most about playing with guys who knew how to rush the passer, they would just tell you, just cover people for me, just long enough for me to get there. And that's exactly what happened on that play.
All right, they're going to try and keep hope alive here on 4th down. They're going for it. They had to go for it with such little time remaining, and the Eagles are going to take over in great field position.
You ain't going nowhere.
And they'll indeed take a knee.
Wentz on the keeper. It's a loss of a yard. Brings up 2nd and 11 at the 23-yard line.
20.
Hey, we got to get to the ball, team. We got to get to the ball. Let's keep moving. Convert.
And they will take a knee here.
Wentz on the keeper. It's a loss of a yard. Bringing up 3rd and 12.
The chance of wasting this great starting field position, a real threat. This is 3rd and long. So it's a victory here for the Philadelphia Eagles. And it was a game where they were off and running in the first quarter, Charles, and never looked back.
You know, partner, after a while, we always say the same thing, don't we? They set the tone early, right? They started fast. So I asked a few of my horse racing friends, do you have a term for me that we can use to cover that? And they said, yeah. When a horse breaks out like that, you say he caught a flyer out of the gate. And that's exactly what this team did today. I mean, they jumped out there, jumped on them, and were never headed.
So for Philadelphia, they close out this first half at a very solid 6-2, and they'll get to stay home again next week. Meanwhile, for Green Bay, they drop back to 500 now at 4 up and 4 down, and they'll try to rebound next week on the road in Nashville. So for our entire crew, alongside Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin. Thanks for watching, everybody. We'll see you next time.
I'm about to make a play. Move the chains, tell them get about the way. Move the chains, I'm about to win the game. about to make a play. Move the chains, tell them get about the way. Move the chains, I'm about to win the game. Move the chains, baby, tell them move the chains. Move the needle for the city like the championships. All my records go hard, this a champion hit. I've been working for this moment like I've been in the gym. Jumping all over hurdles, I'm evading the pit. Hit the hit with anybody, take them, I can shake them. I can light them to the fire, then I bake them, I'ma break them. I'm a Hall of Fame legend, they should go and hang my jersey. Made to put in work, I don't think they really heard me like. Move the chains, I'm about to make a play. Move the chains, tell them get about the way. Move the chains, I'm about to win the game. Move the chains, baby, tell them move the chains. Ain't no stopping me, ain't no topping me. I am up, number one seed, ain't nobody popping up. Got a squad of gorillas from the jungle suited up. You kicking off against me, hope you ready, get it up. I be booted up, popping out a sprinter or a truck. Whole team chasing bags while they chasing us. Calling audible, I read the game, I think it's time to switch. You get hit, if I miss, then my teammates got the blitz, yeah. Move the chains, I'm about to make a play. Move the chains, tell them get about the way. Move the chains, I'm about to win the game. Move the chains, baby, tell them move the chains.
Yeah, in the field like, yeah, all day like, yeah, all night like, yeah, whole squad like, what? In the field like, yeah, all day like, yeah, all night like, what? Whole squad like, yeah, in the field like, yeah, all day like, yeah, all night like, yeah, whole squad like, yeah, in the field like, yeah, all day like, yeah, all night like, yeah. You don't want problems, you don't want smoke, no, you don't want problems. Yeah, you don't want problems, you don't want smoke, dog, you don't want problems. Yeah, you don't want problems, you don't want smoke, dog, you don't want problems. No, I say you don't want problems, you don't want smoke, dog, you don't want. Yeah, call us dangerous, ain't too many can play with us. See what this game here taking us, no barber, ain't no fading us. I ain't really saying much, actions be louder than words, man. I just wanna be heard, for your mom to your pop, to the beat, to the birds, man. Cut right off on the curb, like I'm Barry Sanders. Chains on and the diamonds dancing. Game on, time to go. When the rain starts, I'ma let you know. Name a squad that is better though than my whole team. We a pot of gold. I'm a dog, I'ma need a bone for my whole team. I'ma let it go like, yeah, in the field like, yeah, all day like, yeah, all night like, yeah, whole squad like, what? In the field like, yeah, all day like, yeah, all night like, what? Whole squad like, yeah, in the field like, yeah, all day like, yeah, all night like, yeah, whole squad like, yeah, in the field like, yeah, all day like, yeah, all night like, yeah. You don't want problems, you don't want smoke, no, you don't want problems. Yeah, you don't want problems, you don't want smoke, dog, you don't want problems. Yeah, you don't want problems, you don't want smoke, dog, you don't want problems. No, I say you don't want problems, you don't want smoke, dog, you don't want. Yeah, I pin so my frustration, I was waiting to shine. My father taught me don't be soft, so now I'm taking what's mine. I define myself as ambitious, young, black, and gifted. Master P, my masterpiece, that mean I don't got no limits. Bout it, I doubt it. My homies know you ain't ratted. We break you down like a pound. I got it, don't pound us around me. I'm corrupted, flow cold and it's rugged, bumpy. What is up? I'm ready for war. You got to love it like black. Yeah, in the field like, yeah, all day like, yeah, all night like, yeah, whole squad like, what? In the field like, yeah, all day like, yeah, all night like, what? Whole squad like, yeah, in the field like, yeah, all day like, yeah, all night like, yeah, whole squad like, yeah, in the field like, yeah, all day like, yeah, all night like, yeah. You don't want problems, you don't want smoke, no, you don't want problems.
Ladies and gentlemen. Ladies and gentlemen. Are you ready? Are you ready?
Get ready, dog.
This be the green light, go. Tires burn the pavement. People want to know where Mace, Potts, and Dave went. Still here, still in your ear with a style so hot. No see where all the sun rays went. Legs, arms, and head, all being moved in a frenzy. The blends be all the right cred, meaning credentials. Best of both worlds when we rocking over pearls and the instrumental. Are you ready? Set. Jump to the rhythm as hard as you can go. Keep it steady. To the letter right. Turn it up. We giving the show. But can you rock it like rocket fuel? What you talking about? Space or out your mind? But can you rock it like rockets, fool? That's a close encounter of what kind? When it was time to get it lit, we got it hot like fever. Sick with the talk, pass to your receiver. All about running the spot. And you know we got breath control, so no need to take a breather. Cardio kingpin. Sub